Hello guys, it's Priscilla again, and today we're going to be making salsa. Alright, so here we have, and get a little closer because you want to see the ingredients you will need. So, we have cilantro, onion, limes, tomatoes, lemons, serranos. We're going to need more tomatoes, more serranos, but I'll let you guys know in a second how much you will need. Alright, so all you need is this and some chicken bouillon. Now, you're not Hispanic if you don't have chicken bouillon because you know we add this to everything that we make, even if it's not chicken. And all you need is salt. Also, you can use this salsa with whatever you'd like. So we like to eat it with taquitos, tacos, of course tacos, and we put it on our meats. So it's very delicious if you add it to any type of meat, especially steak. It's delicious and you guys will not go wrong with that. So let's get to it. Ready, set, go. Alright, so let's make this happen. You're gonna need about 6 tomatoes. You really only need 3 or 4, but I'm making a lot of salsa today because I'm having family over, so I'm using 6 tomatoes. And what you want to do to each tomato is you're gonna make a cross in the middle here. That way it's easier for you guys to peel it once they are boiled. Alright, so all you gotta do is like that, twist it around and make another incision like that. Looks like a cross. Go ahead and place it in your pot and do that to the rest of the tomatoes. You guys want to make sure that you guys are watching your fingers because you can easily cut yourself, especially if you have a really sharp knife. So just make sure your fingers are not at the bottom. Alright, so now guys, the next step after you cut all your tomatoes, you want to put your serranos in there, and I'm using 15, but you only need like 9 depending on how hot you like your salsa. Just make sure that you are using either 10 to 15. My family likes it really hot. I like it just mild, but we're using 15 to make some spicy salsa today. So 15 serranos. Just stick them in the pot. Alright guys, the next thing you need is just 1 onion, and the way I cut my onion is I leave the outer part or the shell on and then I peel it afterwards. It just makes it easier. So grab your onion, cut it in half like this. You see how it just kind of comes off? Then just peel it, okay? Use your knife to help you. All you gotta do is do that, then peel it off and stick it in your pot when you're done. Boom, just like that. Okay, let me do this for this one too. Let me just add a half. Alright guys, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the stove now that you have all your serranos, your tomatoes, and your onion ready to get boiled. You're just going to fill the water to the top of the pot and let it sit there until it comes to a boil. Alright, so now that the tomatoes are boiled, you can see the skin kind of lifting off of them. So when you pick one up, you see how it's kind of coming off like this? You want it to be like that so it's easier for you to peel. So I'm just going to remove them, put them in a bowl, and peel them. Alright, so usually I peel these when they are cold, so I kind of let them sit there for about 5 to 10 minutes while they get cold, and then you peel them because it's a lot easier. But right now, I'm going to attempt to peel them while they're hot, so bear with me. Once you have your tomatoes peeled, they will look like this. You're going to put them in the blender, one by one, after they're fully peeled. Make sure they're fully peeled because if you leave the skin on there, it's gonna look a little, you're gonna find it in the salsa. The skin will show up in the sauce and you don't want that. Throw it in the blender. Alright, once you have peeled all your tomatoes, you want to grab your chilies You can wear gloves if you want. Just make sure if you don't that you wash your hands right after you touch them, because you will have chili on your fingers. You just want to tug at the tail and just pull it off. Whew, these are hot. Right, so now that you have your chilies in here, you want to grab the rest of the stuff, which is just the onion that's in here, and you want to put it in the blender. So now that you have your onions in here, you're going to cut up some cilantro. And you only need like a handful of cilantro to start. You can add more if you like more cilantro. Cilantro is really good, but you really don't need that much. All right, so you will need one of these. Actually, two of these. I'm using 3 because I'm making a lot of salsa, but you only need 2. They are diced tomatoes and green chilies. I got these at Stater Brothers. They're super flavorful. It just gives it, you know, just a little bit more flavor to your salsa. After you put the diced tomatoes and chilies in there, you are going to cut up 2 limes, squeeze it in there. Also, you're going to cut up a lemon, squeeze everything in there. All right. You will need one of these unless you want to squeeze with your hands, but your hands are going to hurt. Okay. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. There's one. Nice drip. This is a huge lemon, so it's a little harder to squeeze, but give it all you got, all the force you have, and just squeeze that thing. Now you want to fill this up with water, but you're not just going to use any water. You're going to use the water that you use to boil your veggies in. You want to fill it up to the top, not so much, but just enough to cover what you have in here, okay? If you need to add more later, you can always add more later, but try not to put so much water because then your sauce is going to be too runny. Last but not least, you want to add your seasonings. So you're going to add salt and chicken bouillon. Be generous with your salt, okay? Don't be scared. Some chicken bouillon, you want at least 2, I say, teaspoons, if not more. You're gonna taste it afterwards just to make sure it doesn't have too much or it needs some. But let's start off with 2 teaspoons of this. I don't measure anything, guys. I just go off of what the Holy Spirit tells me to add, you know, and I make it work. Now you wanna taste it really quick to see if it needs anything. Because if it does, you're gonna add stuff to it flavor-wise. Ingredients, it has everything you need, but now let's just taste it for flavor, okay? Nice texture. If you want it a little bit more runny, you can always add more water. This is pretty good. I might add just a little bit of water just because when it gets cold, it gets thicker, so I don't want it too thick. It's spicy, guys, but my family likes it like this, so I gotta make it happen. This is optional, but I'm going to add pepper to it. I do add pepper to mostly all my foods. You can do the same with the salsa just to give it that extra tang. Now I'm gonna taste it just to make sure that it has enough flavor, and we're done. Magnificent. Grab your salsa and then you're just gonna pour it in a bowl. Voila! Ready to serve.